I can't say. Six participants.
Six.
Yes. But that's it. I only signed him because of her. Period.
Shabbat Shalom, and welcome to those who are with us tonight. I'll circle back to that in a moment. I'm Rabbi Michael Feshbach. I'm delighted to be here one more time, unexpectedly, I think, because we thought she might be returning today, but our last time until her return when she comes back in the future. Cantor Lainey Zell is going back after this Shabbat, so we're delighted to have you one more time. To Gilchrist Sproul, thank you so much for everything these holidays and tonight. And Rigo, to Rigo Bell Lorad, thank you for being here with streaming. This is, if I were a Shabbat service, as I said in our announcement, this would be the loneliest service of the year. The day after Yom Kippur, and then just 2 days before Erev Sukkot. This takes that. You know what? It's hard to be a Jew. But to those of you who are here, and we hope are uplifted and fulfilled and have a sense of meaning and purpose and connection by being with us, we are very grateful, and we love you all. So Shabbat Shalom. Candles will be lit this night by Jennifer Arellano. Either of the readings on page 121, her choice which one, and then the bracha, the blessing itself, on page 120. We welcome Shabbat with light and with warmth, page 121.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Did you finish your drink?
No. I sat down. I think these people could have seen me get up and down.
pages 124 through 127 in a moment of personal prayer.
What's the matter? Broken?
Kabbalat Shabbat, the psalms and songs with which we welcome Shabbat. Lechun Ranana on page 130, Shiru Ladonai on page 131, from Psalms 95 and 96. Remember, in this setting, we sing the opening paragraph of Psalm 95 slowly twice, and then we jump to page 131 for most of Psalm 96.
Isn't she good?
Last two lines on the page. Romamu Adonai Eloheinu, exalt Adonai our God, and bow toward God's holy hill, from Psalm 99, the last paragraph in Hebrew on page 135, Romamu.
kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu.
Now there are 13.
Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishachavu le'har kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishachavu le'har kodsho.
And on pages 138 and 139, stanzas 1, 2, 5, and 9, Lechado D. The Taubman setting, but
the other time.
the other Taubman setting.
Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki hi mekor habracha, merosh mikedem nesucha, sof maaseh b'machshava techila lecha dodi, likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela, lecha dodi, likrat kala. התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי, שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני אלייך נגלה לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי, לקראת קלה. ושלום עטרת בלה, גם בשמחה ובצולה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה, בוריך לה, לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. That's just so fun.
It's great. I couldn't possibly do the middle. Because this is your last Shabbat with us, just to leave you a taste and a reminder. On page 141, from the last section of the English of Psalm 93, as a reminder of St. Thomas out here in the middle of the ocean, together. The ocean sounds, Adonai. The ocean sounds its thunder. The ocean sounds its pounding. Above the thunder of the mighty waters, more majestic than the breakers of the sea, is Adonai, majestic on high. Your decrees are indeed enduring. Holiness befits your house, Adonai, for all times. Shalom Aleichem, the most familiar setting, page 142.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bochem Leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem Leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Page 145, and then back to 144 for Chatzi Kaddish. Together, teach me, O God, a blessing, a prayer, on the mystery of a withered leaf, unripened fruit so fair, on the freedom to see, to sense, to breathe, to know, to hope, to despair. Teach my lips a blessing, a hymn of praise, as each morning and night you renew your days, lest my day be today as the one before, lest routine set my ways. Page 144.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה חירותי ואמליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביום איכון, ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בגלה, בגלה, ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן, יהי שמי רב המבורך, לעלם ולעלמי עלמיה, יתברך, יתברך וישתבח, יתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי דקודשה בריחו, לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירן בעלמא, ואמרו אמן.
Page 146, please rise.
ברכו את אדוני המבורך, ברוך אדוני המבורך, לעולם ועד.
Page 148, Baruch Atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chokhmah poteach sha'arim, ובתבונה משנה עתים, ומחליף את הזמנים, ומסדר את הכוכבים, ומשמרותיהם ברקיע כרצונו. בורא יום ולילה, גולל אור מפני חושך, וחושך מפני אור, ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו, אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני המעריב ערבים. the bottom of 150. Together, everlasting love, you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto.
Please be seated.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Page 159, then back to 158. Together, sing the song of men and women, joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come, the song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more, the song of a world redeemed, the song of peace.
ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני
Baruch Hu u'Baruch Shemo.
גאל ישראל.
Amen. Page 161. On the bottom, give us a place to rest, Adonai our God. Bring us into shelter in the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you are true protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al ko amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim.
Amen.
Page 163, then back to 162 for Vashamru. We are a people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
The Amidah, the Tefillah, beginning with the introduction on page 164. Please rise.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yadi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, Vezocher Chasdei Avot ve'imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Mashiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayei hakol atah, Rav le'Hoshia, Morid hatal, Mechalchel chaim bechesed, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומדומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל.
אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלע. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Amen. We continue in personal prayer. Page 178. You may be seated if you'd like.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech Adon לכל השלום, כי אתה הוא מלך אדון, לכל השלום, שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם, שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. כתוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל, בכל עת ובכל שעה, בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם.
We continue in personal prayer. bottom of page 180.
Ose shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru
In my previous congregation, we would dance in the aisles and carry that on. Oh, say shalom. No, that's not even it. But it was really just
it's a fun one.
An amazing experience. Mishaberach Avotenu Avraham Yitzhak v'Yakov v'imotenu Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah Hu Yivarech v'Yirapeh et hacholim ha'eleh. O God, who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, send your blessing and your healing, your comfort and your hope to so many who are ill, whose names we do not know, to so many who are ill, who do not know it themselves. And in addition to that, any of the names we see before us out loud, if we choose to share, or any names which are in our hearts: Susie Grabinick, Brooke Robin, Sandra Rowland, Mindy Bickle,
Sarita Zell,
anyone on Zoom?
Ray McAndrew, Alan Kossoff, Cyril F.
Baruch atah Adonai Rofeh Cholim. We praise you, O God, who helps us comfort, who helps us heal, who brings us comfort.
May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen.
So instead of, don't go too far, of a formal sermon, which you have heard quite a few of, I step into the risky and dangerous realm of taking a few minutes this night for an Ask the Rabbi or Ask the Cantor. Particularly difficult and challenging questions go to Cantor Zell.
Just keep in mind I'm still in school.
That's right. I thought you might add that. Anything about the High Holy Days, anything about Sukkot, anything remotely relevant, you will have to be loud, and if nobody here has anything, we will ask if there's anyone on Zoom as well. And my great spiritual challenge is to keep answers brief. We will see if I succeed. Anything on your mind? Any questions that you have had from High Holidays, that you have about Sukkot, that you...
Or anything that's like, I've always wondered why we do or don't do X.
You know, there are so many aspects of a Jewish service, it seems like insider's baseball. You know, we bow here, we toes 3 times. It's a lot, and to somebody stepping in new for the first time, it's really a lot to absorb. Anyone? Okay, I'll turn to Zoom first. Julie.
Before you had clocks and accurate timing.
Sorry, a little louder with the mask.
Okay, before you had all our accurate time with clocks, you know to do something like Havdalah by 3 stars. What do they do when it rains?
Her question was, you know, before there were accurate clocks, you knew it was time for Havdalah when there were 3 stars in the sky. And the answer is, what do you do when it rains or when you can't see the 3 stars? I don't know the answer to that, but I will say that I can say something interesting anyway, which is that to this day, the Muslim calendar depends on witnesses coming and reporting the sighting of the new moon. And therefore, if it's cloudy, Ramadan, if it's clear in Cleveland and cloudy in Chicago, Ramadan may start a day later in Chicago because nobody was able to witness the moon in person. So there are remnants of this looking to the skies physically for setting the times of the calendar. So it is still there, but I guess you just guessed before. Anyone on Zoom? Is there anyone on Zoom? I don't want to hear the answer to that.
No, there are people.
Is there anyone on Zoom?
Yes.
We are looking into a void. Well, it is a tough Shabbat.
No,
Is there anybody on Zoom?
Rabbi, can you hear me?
Okay.
13. 13. Right, 13.
Oh, the different shofar blasts.
Oh, wow. So the question came in about the difference of the different shofar blasts, and, you know, one is supposed to represent the general call, the other is sort of broken heart, and the other a sense of brokenness. Beyond that, there are many explanations, but I'm not an expert on those. That's an excellent question, and I'll have an answer for you by next year. What? Rabbi what?
Rabbi I? Let them ask.
If they can unmute and ask it.
This is Nancy. Can you hear me?
Okay. We'll move. Julie has another, and then we'll close with that. Yes, Julie.
What's your favorite Adon Olam
What's your favorite Adon Olam
and why?
and why? You know, of course, Adon Olam is perfectly syncopated, so it goes to anything. Yellow Submarine, Adon Olam, Asher Malach. Brady Bunch, what's your favorite Adon Olam?
Well, I grew up singing the Adon Olam. No, that wasn't what it was. Adon Olam Asher Malach
Terem Kol.
Yitzir Nivra. So like whenever I think of Adon Olam, that's the first one I think of. But I once saw cantor Ozzy Schwartz do a version of Adon Olam to the tune of You'll Be Back from Hamilton, and it was amazing.
Wow.
So that probably tops. the version
Okay.
that I've heard.
What, Carol?
On that same theme, I have a related question. How many different ways are there to do Halloween? It seems like there are so many different
Millions. There are so many different Lachadodi tunes, and people are writing new ones all the time.
Somebody else asked, what is the toughest part for presentation for the High Holy Days?
What is the toughest part of the high holidays? Yesterday. Yesterday. Yesterday with no air conditioning.
Right. I have a question.
Right.
Can you hear
Yesterday
me?
here with no air conditioning.
Some of the pieces.
It's there are tough parts in terms of the prayers because certain prayers I don't take literally and they're very right, and there's scary parts about the prayers, and the whole idea of our doing everything that we can to pull all the details together so that it goes smoothly for you is also one of the scary and toughest parts for me.
Yeah, I think that one of the hardest parts is finding it spiritually meaningful and prayerful for yourself while you're trying to do all of these things. But that's just like in general.
I have to say that most years, most of the time, I have managed, but that is tough.
You've been doing this a lot longer than I have. So.
That's true. That when we had double services in my previous congregation, we always, all I worried about at the early service was ending on time because the parking lot had to empty out early enough in time for the new people coming in. Otherwise, there'd be the traffic hitting. So that was tough for many years. So, Shabbat Shalom. One or two announcements. Carol, I didn't write down the name, so please share it later. We have had, I don't know what to make of the statistics about deaths in the territory for the following reason. There was a young woman, 48, 48, who passed away, but she passed away in Florida. I don't think she's been counted in the 67 here. What that makes me think is how many others are not counted in the 67 here. 48-year-old woman was the second death in the USVI of somebody who was fully vaccinated. And it was the sixth such death that I have heard about this week. As of now, we are still going to do sushi outdoors under the sukkah on Monday night unless Peter turns into a major storm. The name Odette already got named and used for the one that's on the East Coast, but Peter looks like it's heading almost straight at us. Those of you with more experience know that when it's heading straight at you, probably it'll veer off, right? So I'm worried for nothing. Am I worried for nothing? Never. So I think as of now on Monday, we are still in person at Lilienfeld. That may be it. We may be shutting down for a while afterwards and going all online. Tomorrow morning, we were going to host sukkah building at our house. You know the drill. That is, every year I ask you to bring a drill and come with you to help us we are not putting up our sukkah this year. And so let us all be safe. Let us all be cautious. I believe that I am beyond happy with how the high holidays went here and that we pulled it off. I also feel like we've been out there with great exposure to each other and it's time to pull back soon. So only online tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. It's a remarkably interesting Torah portion, Ha'azinu, so we will look at that most poetic of all portions, Ha'azinu, at Torah study at about 10:30. The brief service begins at 10 a.m. online tomorrow with our usual link. We continue with Aleinu. I did not designate, but Katina and Jackie, as you're chatting with each other, I'm catching you. If you will please open the Ark doors. For Aleinu, Aleinu is on the bottom of page 586. The two selections of Aleinu, by the way, in this Siddur, one is more particularistic about the Jewish role in things, the one on top more universalistic. Please rise.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמענו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המעולם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
As we close the Ark doors,
שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסר הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים עמה, ושכינתו זו בכובעי מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, כך כתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום, והשבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים עמך, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
page 595.
There are stars up above, so far away we only see their light. Long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we love. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest nights, these are the lights that guide us as we live our days. These are the ways we remember. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember.
We remember Everett B. Birch, Nathan Kamhai, Hannah Goldman, Helen Gruber, Irving M. Hershkowitz, Philip Mallon, Carol Fisher-Moak, Paul Reese Pewanski, Morris Portner, Matilda Antoinette Trepuk. We observe yahrzeit of the following high members and those dear to our high members: Janet Abels, Maurice Bebchik, Sarah Berkowitz, Donald Block, Helen Cohen, Doris Dorfman, Martin Epstein, Sidney Epstein, Zelda Feinberg, Daniel Fox, Robert Friedenberg, William Geller, Alba Generelli, Henry Goldman, Rose Goldman, Samuel Goldman, Sam Goldstein, Marilyn Goodman, Hugh Goodwin, Ida Gordon, Abraham Gottlieb, Sarah Green, Yemima Hanover, Sarah Hazen, Herb Henschel, Charles Honigman, Bertha Kaminsky, Cecile Katz, Jeffrey Kaufman, Robert Kausch, Jack Kessler, Harry Cohn, Paul Kravitz, Florence Levin, Aaron Levy, Ronald Lewis, Beth Luttinger, Ida Lutzker, Michelle Meyer, Edith Miller, Sidney Newman, Louis Palmer, Faye Perlman, Max Posniak, David Prensky, Norman Pressman, Dorothy Renyi, Jesse Robbins, Joseph Rosen, Ellen Roth, David Rothschild, Bertha Rudo, Sidney Samuels, Michael Schaftel, Sender Schwartz, Rosamund Siegel, Martin Simonowitz, Max Sinreich, Rose Supkoff, Murray Sporn, Issy Yanofsky. During this period of Shloshim, Florence Nadelman, Rabbi Richard Hirsch, Cantor Israel Goldstein, Marjorie Sevilla Robinson Brown, Ed Asner, Ann Lubin, Judy Goldberg, Lydia Trotman. With sorrowing hearts, one who was laid to rest in recent days, Elliot Mack Davis. Is there anyone here in the congregation to say Kaddish for someone whose name I did not mention, or any of the names I may have mispronounced? Stacy Bryan, the author of Sad Mangoes in, I think you said 2016, who passed away. She was the woman of 48, fully vaccinated, who passed away from COVID-19. Any other names in the congregation? Anyone on Zoom?
Rabbi Robert G. Steverson.
As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. We remember. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. We remember.
Kaddish Yatom, the Mourner's Kaddish, page 598. Please rise. Yitzkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, b'alma divrach yirotei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach leolam olmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudusha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, da'amiran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn, in our congregation, in our community, in our midst, and all those who are suffering the pain of loss everywhere. So many, so many, so many. 1,900 yesterday in the United States, 1,500 in Florida alone. So many. May the source of peace send peace, and may we be among those who are able to be comforters to others. And together let us say, Amen. We conclude tonight with the singing of Adon Olam, but I don't know which setting. So whichever we come to. Page 625.
Adon Olam asher malach b'terem kol yitzir nivra le'ed na'asa b'chefso kol azay melech shemo nikra ve'acharei kichlot hakol levado yimloch nora ve'hu haya ve'hu hoveh
May it be a year of sweetness and of safety, of happiness and of health, of fulfillment, and of our ability to look into each other's eyes without these masks safely someday soon. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Gilchrist. Thank you, Rigo and Chase.